All right, welcome everyone to another deep dive. This time, we're going to be taking a look at Kane Williamson,
Okay.
one of cricket's most intriguing figures. And just to kick things off, this guy was already playing senior-level cricket when he was 14.
Wow.
There's a story about him scoring like 40 centuries before he even finished school.
Yeah, it's remarkable how early his talent was evident. That drive at such a young age really speaks volumes.
So let's start from the beginning. Williamson was born in Tauranga, New Zealand back in 1990. And it seems like athleticism kind of runs in the family. His dad played cricket, his mom was a basketball star, and his sisters were volleyball champs. And get this, his grandmother was the mayor of Taupes.
That's pretty cool. It's fascinating how those early experiences can shape a person. Growing up in a competitive and supportive environment probably played a role in his development as a cricketer.
It makes you wonder if those family volleyball games got pretty intense.
Yeah.
But seriously, his journey in cricket started early. Senior-level cricket at 14, first-class debut at 16, captain of the New Zealand under-19 team at just 17 in the 2008 World Cup. It's clear he was destined for big things.
Yeah, and he had Pacey DePina as his coach during those early years. Pacey DePina recognized his drive and his work ethic. That mentorship can be so valuable, especially for a young player with so much potential.
It seems like that early exposure and dedication really laid the groundwork for his incredible career. Speaking of which, his domestic career is nothing short of impressive. He's been loyal to his domestic team, Northern Districts, playing with them since 2007.
And he showed his versatility across all formats of the game, even hitting a T20 century back in 2014, which isn't easy to do, especially in such a fast-paced format.
Absolutely. But it's not just his performance with Northern Districts that caught the eyes of cricket fans. His success in English county cricket is another testament to his adaptability.
He's played for several counties: Gloucestershire, Yorkshire, and Middlesex. Let's not forget that county championship win with Yorkshire in 2014. Those experiences, playing in different conditions and against different opponents, really helped him develop his game.
And then there's the Indian Premier League, the IPL. It's one of the most competitive T20 leagues in the world. And Williamson has made his mark there as well. He joined Sunrisers Hyderabad in 2015 and was a key part of their championship-winning team in 2016.
He didn't just contribute as a batsman. He captained Sunrisers Hyderabad in 2018, leading them to a runner-up finish, and even finishing the season as the leading run scorer. That shows leadership and consistency under pressure.
Absolutely. You can't argue with those results. He even briefly captained them again in 2021. And then recently he signed with the Gujarat Titans for 2023. Unfortunately, he had an injury that sidelined him pretty early on.
Yeah.
It seems like injuries have been a bit of a challenge for him lately.
That's right, especially that elbow injury in 2021. He was drafted by Birmingham Phoenix for the 100, but had to withdraw, but he bounced back. In 2025, he became the first direct signing for London Spirit and their captain.
That says a lot about his reputation and the respect he has around the cricketing world. But let's turn our attention to his international career, where he truly shines. His ODI debut was back in 2010 against India. It wasn't the most dazzling start, but he quickly found his footing.
He scored his maiden ODI century against Bangladesh, and doing so, he became New Zealand's youngest centurion at the time. That's impressive for someone so young on the international stage.
His Test debut came later that year, also against India, and he announced his arrival in style. He scored 131 runs on debut. He became the 8th New Zealander to achieve that.
You know, that debut innings really signaled what we might call the Williamson era. It's from this point onward that his rise as a top-order batsman and key figure in the team really took off.
And his partnership with Ross Taylor, another New Zealand batting legend, became one of the most formidable in the world.
Their contrasting styles complemented each other perfectly, and they consistently put up big scores for New Zealand.
They were a nightmare for opposing bowlers. And let's not forget Williamson's contributions in the field. He's known for his reliability as a slip fielder, a position that demands quick reflexes and a sharp eye. It just shows his commitment to all aspects of the game.
Absolutely. He's not just focused on his own batting. He's constantly looking for ways to contribute to the team's success, whether through his fielding or supporting his teammates. But when I think about Williamson's batting, his performances in 2014 and 2015 really stand out. In 2014, he scored an unbeaten 161 against the West Indies. That was a crucial innings that helped New Zealand secure a rare away series win.
And he didn't stop there. He also achieved the fastest ODI century by a New Zealander at the time. 100 runs off just 69 balls against Zimbabwe.
The guy was on fire.
And then came 2015, a year of record-breaking achievements. He started the year off with a bang, scoring a double century, 242 not out, against Sri Lanka.
Wow. That kind of innings takes incredible endurance and
Yeah.
concentration.
He was unstoppable that year. And there was this amazing moment in a match against Pakistan where he scored the 99th ODI century in New Zealand's history, while his partner, Ross Taylor, scored the 100th in the same match. It was a historic moment for New Zealand cricket.
Talk about a perfect illustration of their partnership. But the records didn't stop there for Williamson. He went on to break the record for the most heists. Test runs by a New Zealander in a calendar year. He scored 11,172 runs.
Wow.
And get this, he finished 2015 with the most runs across all formats of the game. A phenomenal 2,692 runs.
His consistency and hunger for runs was unmatched. But you know, it's not just his batting that makes him such a remarkable cricketer. His captaincy is equally impressive. In 2016, after Brendan McCullum retired, Williamson took over the captaincy in all formats.
That's a big responsibility, taking the reins from such a charismatic and successful leader. But Williamson stepped up to the challenge and brought his own style to the role.
His leadership is fascinating. He's known for his composure and his ability to bring out the best in his team. And the results speak for themselves. He led New Zealand to their first ICC trophy in 20 years, the 2021 ICC World Test Championship.
Think about that for a second. New Zealand hadn't won an ICC trophy in 2 decades. That victory was a testament to Williamson's leadership and the culture of excellence he created within the team.
It was a defining moment for New Zealand cricket, and under his leadership, they reached back-to-back World Cup finals, finishing as runners-up in both the 2019 Cricket World Cup and the 2021 T20 World Cup.
It's incredible they came so close to winning those tournaments. What makes Williamson's captaincy even more remarkable is his ability to remain calm and collected, even in the most pressure-filled situations.
He's a true leader. But you know, it's not just about trophies and accolades. Williamson has also achieved some incredible individual milestones throughout his career.
His record-breaking feats are a testament to his talent and his unwavering dedication to the game.
In August 2016, he became only the 13th batsman to score a century against all other Test-playing nations. That's a testament to his consistency and ability to perform at the highest level against any opponent.
It's a remarkable achievement. He also holds the record for the most Test centuries by a New Zealander and was the first Kiwi player to break the 900-point barrier in the ICC Test batting rankings.
And who could forget that incredible knock in 2020 against the West Indies? He scored his highest Test score of 251. It further solidifies his place among the cricketing greats.
He also achieved the milestone of 25 Test centuries, the first New Zealander to do so.
Wow, the records just keep piling up. And in February 2023, he surpassed Ross Taylor to become New Zealand's highest Test run scorer. It's an incredible accomplishment, and it's clear Williamson is still hungry for more. But his journey isn't just about personal milestones, is it?
You're right.
What about his impact on the team and the culture of New Zealand cricket?
You're absolutely right. His influence extends far beyond his individual achievements. He's helped to redefine what it means to be a New Zealand cricketer, both on and off the field.
It's fascinating to think about how he shaped the identity of the team. His leadership style has been praised for its composure, its focus on teamwork, and its unwavering sportsmanship.
It's a stark contrast to some of the more aggressive or individualistic approaches we've seen from other captains. Williamson leads by example, inspiring his teammates through his own dedication and commitment to playing the game the right way.
It's no wonder he's so widely respected, both by his teammates and his opponents. But, you know, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. How do you think Williamson's captaincy has changed the landscape of New Zealand cricket?
That's a great question. I think Williamson's captaincy has been transformative for New Zealand cricket in several ways. First and foremost, he brought a sense of calm and composure to the team.
It's a reflection of his personality, but it's also a deliberate approach to leadership. He believes that by staying level-headed and focused on the process, the team can perform at their best, even under pressure.
And that approach has clearly paid off. Under his leadership, New Zealand has achieved unprecedented success, reaching new heights in Test cricket and consistently challenging for the top honors in limited over formats.
It's remarkable to think about the journey they've been on. They've gone from being the underdogs to being a team that is feared and respected by the best in the world. And Williamson has been at the heart of that transformation.
But it's not just about results. Williamson has also instilled a strong culture of teamwork and unity within the New Zealand squad. He emphasizes the importance of playing for each other, putting the team's needs ahead of individual ambition.
That's a powerful message, and it's clearly resonated with his teammates.
You can see it in the way they celebrate each other's successes and support each other through tough times. It's a true team in every sense of the word.
And that unity is one of the key factors behind their consistent performance. They're greater than the sum of their parts. But another aspect of Williamson's captaincy I find fascinating is his emphasis on sportsmanship and respect for the game.
That's a core part of his leadership philosophy. He believes that cricket should be played in the right spirit, with respect for opponents, umpires, and the traditions of the game. And he leads by example.
It's true. He's always gracious in victory and defeat, and he's never one to engage in sledging or other forms of gamesmanship.
It sets a powerful example for his teammates and for young cricketers around the world. It shows that you can be fiercely competitive without sacrificing your integrity or your respect for the game.
He's a true ambassador for the sport.
Absolutely. He embodies the values that cricket should represent. And that's why he's so admired, not just in New Zealand, but around the world.
I think it's safe to say that Williamson's captaincy has left a mark on New Zealand cricket. He's raised the bar, set a new standard for leadership, and inspired a generation of players.
And his influence will be felt long after he's retired from the game. He's a true icon of New Zealand sport, and his legacy will be one of excellence, integrity, and unwavering dedication to the game he loves.
We've talked about his early career, his success in domestic and international cricket, his incredible record-breaking achievements, and the transformative impact of his captaincy. But there's another side to Kane Williamson that we haven't touched on yet, his personal life and his philanthropic endeavors. What can you tell us about those aspects of his life?
Well, behind the cricketing superstar is a very down-to-earth, compassionate individual. He's known for his humility and genuine kindness. He's married to Sarah Rahim, and they have 3 children.
It's always refreshing to see someone who's achieved so much success remain grounded and focused on family. It gives you a sense of the kind of person he is outside of the pressures of professional sport.
Exactly. He's not one to let fame or fortune go to his head. He prioritizes his family and values his privacy.
And there's also a very giving side to him. He's involved in various philanthropic initiatives. Do you recall any specific examples that highlight his generosity and commitment to giving back?
One that immediately comes to mind is his decision to donate his entire match fee for the 2014 ODI series against Pakistan to the victims of the Peshawar school massacre. It was a horrific tragedy, and Williamson's gesture was a testament to his compassion and empathy.
That was incredibly generous of him. It shows a depth of character that goes beyond the cricket field. He's clearly someone who cares about the world around him and wants to make a positive impact.
He doesn't seek recognition for his good deeds. He does it quietly and humbly, which makes it all the more meaningful.
It's those little details, those glimpses into his character that make him such a captivating figure. He's a world-class athlete, a successful captain, but also a compassionate human being.
He's someone who inspires you, not only through his achievements, but also through his actions and his values.
Yeah.
It's a rare combination.
It's been fascinating to delve into these different aspects of his life. I feel like we're starting to get a much more complete picture of Kane Williamson, not just as a cricketer.
And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting. We're not just looking at stats and records. We're exploring the human story behind the legend.
Exactly. And I think that's what resonates with people. It's the combination of talent, humility, and compassion. That makes Williamson such an inspiring figure.
He's a reminder that success doesn't have to come at the expense of your values or your humanity.
Well said. So we've covered a lot of ground, but I feel like we've just scratched the surface of Kane Williamson's story. There's so much more to explore, so many layers to unpack.
There's always more to discover, especially when you're dealing with someone as multifaceted as Kane Williamson.
But for now, we need to take a short break. When we return, we'll delve deeper into his legacy and his impact on the future of New Zealand cricket.
It's fascinating how his career kind of mirrors the evolution of New Zealand cricket itself.
You're right. He came onto the scene at a time when New Zealand was starting to shed its underdog image. And he's been a key part of their transformation into a genuine force in international cricket.
Think back to the early 2010s. New Zealand had some talented players, but often struggled for consistency on the big stage. Williamson's arrival coincided with a shift in mindset, a belief that they could compete with anyone.
His calm demeanor and unflappable temperament seem to have rubbed off on the entire team. Under his captaincy, they played with a sense of purpose and belief that we hadn't really seen before.
What's remarkable is that he achieved this without sacrificing those traditional Kiwi values, humility and sportsmanship. He led with quiet confidence, inspiring his teammates through his actions rather than fiery speeches.
He's a true gentleman of the game. Even his opponents respect him for his integrity and fairness. Remember the 2019 World Cup final? Despite the controversial finish and the heartbreaking loss, he handled himself with incredible grace and dignity.
Exactly. He could have easily lashed out or expressed bitterness, but instead he congratulated England and acknowledged their performance. That's the mark of a true leader.
It's that sportsmanship that's earned him admiration from fans worldwide. He's become an ambassador for the sport, promoting its positive values and inspiring a new generation of cricketers.
His legacy extends far beyond runs and wickets. He's shown that you could achieve greatness without compromising your values. And that's a powerful message for young athletes everywhere.
So how do you think he's managed to stay so grounded amidst all the fame and adulation?
I think it comes down to his upbringing and his personality. He comes from a close-knit family, and his parents instilled in him a strong sense of humility and perspective.
And he seems genuinely uncomfortable with the spotlight. He'd rather just let his bat do the talking.
He's not interested in self-promotion or chasing headlines. He just wants to play cricket to the best of his ability and contribute to the team's success.
I wonder if that's part of what makes him such an effective captain. He's not driven by ego or personal glory, so his decisions are always based on what's best for the team.
It's fascinating how his leadership style contrasts with some of the more vocal or authoritarian captains we've seen in the past.
He's a quiet leader who leads by example. He doesn't demand respect, he earns it through his performance and his character.
It's a style that seems to resonate with the modern generation of players. They respond to authenticity and humility, and Williamson embodies both qualities in abundance.
It makes you wonder what the future holds for him. He's still relatively young in cricketing terms, and he's already achieved so much.
I think he has a lot more to offer, both as a batsman and as a leader. He could easily continue playing for another 5 to 10 years, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him break even more records.
I'm curious to see how he approaches the next phase of his career. Will he return to captaincy at some point, or will he focus solely on his batting and mentoring the younger players?
Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, Kane Williamson's journey is far from over, and he'll continue to captivate cricket fans around the world for years to come.
As we delve deeper into his story, I can't help but think about the broader context of cricket's evolution.
I see where you're going with this. It's interesting to consider how his career aligns with the changing landscape of the sport.
Cricket has undergone significant transformations in recent years, with the rise of T20 leagues and the increasing demands on players.
And yet, Williamson has managed to navigate these changes while staying true to his own values and style.
He's excelled in all formats of the game, from Test cricket to ODIs to T20s. He's a testament to the enduring appeal of classical batting technique, even in this age of power hitting.
It's a fascinating paradox. He's a modern-day cricketer who embodies those timeless qualities of skill, temperament, and sportsmanship.
His ability to adapt and thrive in different environments speaks volumes about his versatility and his dedication to the craft.
It's a quality that sets him apart from many of his contemporaries. He's not just a specialist in one format, he's a master of them all.
It makes me wonder about his approach to batting. What do you think are the key elements of his technique and mindset that have allowed him to achieve such consistency across formats?
That's a great question. I think his success stems from a combination of technical brilliance and mental fortitude. He possesses a sound technique based on solid fundamentals.
You can see it in his stance, his balance, and his stroke play. He's a purist's delight.
But his technique is not rigid or mechanical. He's able to adapt his game to different conditions and situations.
Like a chameleon blending into its surroundings.
Exactly. He can play aggressively when required, but he's also comfortable playing the waiting game and building an innings patiently.
His mental strength is equally impressive. He seems to have this uncanny ability to block out distractions and stay focused on the task at hand.
He's not easily rattled by setbacks or pressure situations. He has this calm, almost zen-like quality about him.
Remember that time when he was battling an elbow injury? He could have easily taken a break or rushed his recovery. But he chose to persevere and manage his workload carefully.
And he came back stronger than ever. That resilience is a hallmark of his character.
It makes me think about the challenges he must have faced throughout his career. Cricket is a demanding sport, both physically and mentally. How do you think he's managed to stay motivated and maintain such a high level of performance for so long?
I think it comes down to his love for the game and his intrinsic motivation. He's not playing for fame or fortune. He's playing because he genuinely enjoys the challenge and the pursuit of excellence.
You can see it in his eyes when he's at the crease. He's completely absorbed in the moment, relishing the battle between bat and ball.
He's a student of the game, always looking for ways to improve and refine his skills. He's never satisfied with simply being good. He strives for greatness.
That's a quality that's shared by all the truly great athletes. They have this insatiable hunger to push their limits and reach their full potential.
And Williamson is no exception. He's constantly challenging himself, both on and off the field.
It's inspiring to see someone so dedicated to their craft. He's a role model for anyone who aspires to achieve greatness in any field.
His journey is a reminder that success is not a destination, but a journey. It's about the constant pursuit of improvement, the willingness to embrace challenges, and the unwavering belief in oneself.
And it's about staying true to your values no matter the circumstances. Kane Williamson has shown us that you can be both a fierce competitor and a humble gentleman.
He's redefined what it means to be a cricketing superstar, and his legacy will inspire generations to come.
As we approach the end of our deep dive, I'm struck by the depth and complexity of Kane Williamson's story.
It's a story that goes beyond the boundaries of sport. It's a story about human potential, about resilience, about integrity, and about the pursuit of excellence.
It's a story that's captivated us, challenged us, and left us feeling inspired.
And it's a story that's still being written. We can't wait to see what the next chapter holds for this remarkable individual.
But before we wrap things up, I'd like to offer our listeners a final thought to consider. What are the lessons we can learn from Kane Williamson's journey? How can we apply his principles of leadership, sportsmanship, and dedication to our own lives?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question to leave our listeners with.
It makes you think about what sets him apart as a leader. I think about great captains, I think about tactical brilliance, the ability to inspire the team, the strength to make tough decisions, even when they're unpopular.
You hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
But there's also this intangible quality, a certain presence that commands respect and instills confidence in a team.
It's like that ability to rally everyone around this shared vision, to make them believe they can achieve anything. And I think Kane Williamson has all those qualities, for sure.
So let's start with his tactical acumen. He has this deep understanding of the game, and he's always thinking a few steps ahead.
Yeah, you can see it in his field placements, his bowling changes, even his use of the DRS. He's constantly analyzing the situation, anticipating the opponent's next move, adjusting his strategy.
And he's not afraid to take risks, to try something unconventional if he thinks it'll give his team an edge.
But tactical brilliance is only part of the equation. A great captain also needs to know how to inspire and motivate their team.
Absolutely. It's about getting everyone to buy into a vision, to push themselves to their limits and perform at their best. And I think this is where Williamson's leadership style shines through.
Instead of relying on these fiery speeches or displays of aggression, he leads by example. He sets high standards for himself, inspires his teammates through his work ethic, his dedication, and his unwavering commitment to the team.
He's not a loud, in-your-face kind of leader. He inspires through his actions, his quiet confidence, and his unwavering belief in his team.
And he has this knack for man management. He understands the strengths and weaknesses of each player, and he knows how to get the best out of them. He creates this environment where everyone feels valued, supported, and empowered to contribute to the team's success.
It's this collaborative approach that fosters a real sense of unity and shared purpose.
But like you were saying earlier, a great captain also needs to be able to make tough decisions. And sometimes those decisions may be unpopular, but they're necessary for the good of the team.
Williamson has shown time and time again that he's willing to make those difficult calls. Remember when he dropped himself from the T20 World Cup squad in 2021? Because he felt his form wasn't good enough?
That was a huge decision. It showed a level of selflessness and a commitment to the team. That's really remarkable.
Yeah, it's not about personal glory for him. It's about putting the team first, always.
And I think that's one of the reasons why his teammates respect him so much. They know he has their best interests at heart.
And it goes back to that intangible quality that we were talking about, that aura of leadership that inspires confidence and trust. Williamson has it in abundance.
He commands respect not through intimidation or force of personality, but through his quiet confidence, his humility, and his unwavering integrity. He's a true gentleman of the game, admired by his teammates and his opponents.
He's the kind of leader that makes you want to be a better player, a better teammate, and even a better person.
His legacy as a captain will extend far beyond his playing days.
He's set a new benchmark for leadership in cricket, showing that you can achieve success at the highest level, while remaining grounded, humble, and respectful.
It's been a real privilege to delve into the remarkable career of Kane Williamson. He's a truly inspiring figure, both on and off the field.
It's been fascinating to explore his journey from those early days as a prodigy to his rise as one of the greatest captains and batsmen of his generation.
He's left a mark on the game, and his influence will shape New Zealand cricket for years to come.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I hope our listeners have gained a deeper appreciation for the complexities of Kane Williamson's legacy and his enduring impact on cricket.
Absolutely. It's been an insightful journey, and we encourage all of you to keep learning about this incredible cricketer and to keep discovering what makes him such a compelling figure in the sport.
Until next time, keep diving deep.